Alright, what is going on, guys? It is XLT here, bringing you a brand new video on my channel, and today we're going to be doing a review of what happened in the first week of the NFL season. I did this for college football. I'm sorry I didn't get around to week 2, but I just got really caught up in work and stuff like that over the weekend, but I promise that's going to be out this week. This is probably the day that I'm going to have a lot of my videos out, or a lot of the NFL videos out is on a Tuesday, because the week ends on a Monday. To me, it ends on a Monday, because that's how the fantasy season starts, or the fantasy week works. The week starts on a Thursday, and it carries all the way through Monday. So Tuesday is the day that these videos are probably going to be put out for you guys. So yeah, with all that being said, let's jump right into the video. Alright, starting off with my boys, the Kansas City Chiefs. We absolutely killed the Chargers, and when I say absolutely killed, I mean only beat them by 10. I'm just saying we killed them because our offense looked absolutely insane. We looked so much more dynamic with Patty Mahomes in the backfield, quarterbacking that offense. Alex Smith was check down after check down after check down, and he'd take a big shot to Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce eventually. Patty Mahomes is a guy who's doing that almost every play. He's trying to make a big play happen on every play. That can be good and that can be bad. You know, it can come back to bite you in situations where you need a check down, but he's going for the long ball. We saw that kind of early in the game when Derwin James almost picked him off in the end zone while he was defending DeAnthony Thomas. That's neither here nor there. Tyreek Hill, just talking about that game in general, just as a second point, Tyreek Hill looked like the best wide receiver in the NFL week 1, in my opinion. You could say the guys like Mike Evans and Antonio Brown had good days, but they had good days against defenses that aren't as good. The Browns defense is good, but their back end is kind of a question mark. The Saints defense is pretty good. Mike Evans made Marshawn Lattimore look pretty silly, but Tyreek Hill had a 91-yard kick return for a touchdown. He had like a 58-yard touchdown, a slant that he took to the house. He had a rushing touchdown, or a rushing touchdown. I think they just tossed it to him out of the backfield or whatever. I don't really know what they counted that. And then he also had like one of the most insane catches that I've ever seen in my entire life. It was absolutely crazy. The dude's like as tall as I am. He's like 5'8", and he was out jumping like 6'1" and 6'2" dudes to get that ball. So that was absolutely insane. So the Chiefs offense just looks absolutely leaps and bounds better to me than what it did when Alex Smith was there. We just are way more vertical with the offense. Our passing game isn't limited to, you know, 10 to 20 yards. Patty Mahomes can really stretch the field, and that to me I think is going to open up the run game, and Kareem Hunt's probably going to have another big season. Second thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Browns-Steelers game. Now, the Cleveland Browns are not winless anymore. Well, technically they don't have a win or a loss. They tied with the Steelers. If you guys didn't see that, it was like one of the biggest headlines all of Sunday. It was just a crazy game. Like, they went back and forth late in the game. Kicks got blocked in overtime. It was just a whole crazy thing. But to me, what I took away from that game, the Browns offense looks way stronger than we expected them to look. Their offensive line was absolutely terrible. Tyrod Taylor absolutely did an amazing job of quarterbacking that offense. He made the right reads when he needed to make them. Scrambled, got out of the pocket, threw away passes. You know, he played how I thought he would play. He's a very underrated quarterback. He knows what to do with the football. He knows how not to turn it over. He knows how to keep the ball moving down the field, and he knows how to help his team retain possession in order to put up points. So I thought he looked good, but the quarterback on the other side of the football, Big Ben, looked absolutely terrible. He had 5 total turnovers, 3 picks, and 2 fumbles. Myles Garrett was absolutely killing Alejandro Villanueva, and it really showed because Big Ben didn't have a lot of time to throw the ball. There was one play where he literally like closed his eyes and just threw it up to Antonio Brown, and Demarius Randall picked it. So to me, Big Ben looked absolutely terrible. He was my fantasy quarterback, and he didn't necessarily cost me the game, but he played absolutely terrible. Only had like 8 fantasy points, and Tyrod's my bench quarterback, so I guess I should have started Tyrod instead. I had a gut feeling that this was going to happen, but you know, Big Ben disappoints a lot of us yet again, but you know, he'll always find a way to bounce back when you've got guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Jesse Smith, Antonio Brown, and James Conner to hand the ball off to. So I don't think his struggles will continue all season, but they were very evident in that first game. And the last thing from that game I want to talk to you guys about is that James Conner looked absolutely amazing in his NFL debut. He had like 135 rushing yards. He had a couple more receiving yards, and I think he might have probably only had 2. He might have had 2 touchdowns, but my gut feeling is 1. I don't have the stats pulled up or anything like that right now. He looked really good. Le'Veon Bell sitting out really didn't seem to be, you know, that big of a difference. I feel like Le'Veon Bell probably could have done the exact same thing that James Conner did, because that Browns front 7 is pretty good, but you know, James Conner still played his freaking heart out. That's a really interesting story if you guys haven't really read on that or heard anything about him. It's a crazy story from a kid who absolutely deserves the best in the world, and he really did shine in his NFL debut. And I'm proud to announce that Fitzmagic is back, baby. Yeah, that's right. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the journeyman NFL quarterback from Harvard, who has played for like 1.5 million different different teams, has finally broken through and is going to be the league MVP. Nah, I'm just playing, but he absolutely killed the Saints on Sunday, put up 5 total touchdowns, and he had like 429 passing yards or something like that. They didn't absolutely kill the Saints. They were leading by it was like 40-21 at one point, and the Saints offense put together a miraculous comeback, and it was only an 8-point game when it was all said and done. But Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing like Drew Brees should have been playing. Drew Brees still put up the most passing yards in week 1, but Ryan Fitzpatrick getting 5 touchdowns in a game is like absolutely insane. But this is just the start to another Ryan Fitzpatrick continuum. You sign with the team, the starter gets hurt or suspended in the case of Jameis Winston. You become the starter as Ryan Fitzpatrick. You play good for a couple games. Either the starter comes back or you play terrible, you get cut, and then the cycle repeats itself. That's happened for as long as I can remember in the NFL. It happened when he was with the Texans. It happened when he was with Buffalo. It happened when he was in Tampa Bay, and it's about to happen again. Like, he's about to just absolutely fleece us all. He's going to sign a contract with another team. It happened when he was with the Jets too. He's going to sign a contract next season, and he's going to play bad after Jameis gets back sometime in between the suspension, and then he's going to get cut, and then some other team's going to sign him because they fell for the Ryan Fitzpatrick BS continuum. And in case you guys weren't aware, that Sunday night football game between the Bears and Packers was absolutely insane. The first half looked like it was going to be Chicago's game the entire way. Khalil Mack looked like the best player in the NFL when he was playing in that first half. I know he only got limited snaps because he missed a lot of the preseason. Well, he missed like all of preseason and all of camp because he was arguing with the Raiders about a contract extension and all that stuff. And so they said, screw it, we're just going to trade you because you're not, doing what we want you to do. You're not cooperating with us, so, you can get out of here. And in my opinion, the Bears gave up a lot. They gave up 2 first-round picks and a bunch of other picks, but it looks like the Khalil Mack has paid the full dividends of everything that they've given up. He's the first player with a touchdown, forced fumble, interception, sack, and fumble recovery in the first half of a game since 1982. I don't even know who the other player is, but that stat line's absolutely insane. He had every form of a turnover besides like a block kick that you could have in a football game. He's absolutely insane. But, that was totally forgotten about. Khalil Mack and how good he played was totally forgotten about because Aaron Rodgers is the baddest man in the NFL. He took an insanely vicious hit. It's not like, career ending or anything, obviously, but, it's not like he took some headshot, or it's not like Anthony Barr hit him in the ribs again or anything like that. But that hit that he took, like his knee bent sideways, he could have torn like all the ligaments in his knee. It could have been absolutely devastating, but went to the locker room, came back out in the second half, and led that defense. He led the Packers offense down the field time and time again, and they won 24-23. He had an absolute dime to Geronimo Allison in the back of the end zone that was like the most perfect pass I've ever seen in my entire life. And to me, that Sunday night game was really the only fun primetime game to watch. The other 3 were just an absolute letdown. The Thursday night game between the Eagles and Falcons was an exact replay of what we saw in last year's NFC divisional game. Just a lot of running the ball, not very good quarterback play, really good defensive play, and in the end, the Falcons just couldn't convert in the red zone. If you take the last play from Thursday night's game and the last play of the NFC divisional game, it's literally the exact same play, just flipped. They literally threw it to the exact same player, ran almost the exact same play, and they threw it to Julio Jones in the end zone, just on the left side of the field instead of the right side of the field. And the Jets-Lions game started off on a fantastic note as Sam Darnold threw a pick 6 on his first throw as a New York Jet. Jameis Winston started off the same way, and now, he's being arrested for abusing Uber drivers. So hopefully Sam Darnold doesn't follow in Jameis Winston's footsteps in that regard, but I really didn't expect anything less from Sam Darnold. I'm not really high on him. I know he's got turnover issues, but throughout the rest of that game, he proved to be really efficient. He went for like 198 yards and 2 touchdowns and was pretty efficient. I think he was like 14 for 26 or something like that, so he didn't miss too many throws, but 12 is a good amount to miss. And after the game, supposedly there were a lot of Jets defensive players saying that they knew the exact plays that the Lions were going to run based on the formation and Matt Stafford's hand signals, which would make sense because Matt Stafford threw like 4 interceptions or something like that, and they absolutely killed the Lions. I think the final score of that game was 48-17. And the last Monday night game and the last game of the week was an absolute letdown for me. It was interesting at the start. It's those 2 California teams battling it out, but in the end, the Rams came victorious. To me, Derek Carr cemented his legacy as the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. Yes, I said it. I don't care if you disagree with me or agree with me, but I hope that some people see it because Derek Carr has had 1 good season in the NFL. His rookie year, he threw just a ton of passes, and so his yards and touchdowns were inflated in that remark because they just wanted him to throw all over the place. And then after that, he's really been kind of average. He had 1 good season, and then last year he was really bad, and this year he hasn't started off very good. He was just throwing the ball all over the place, not really looking like, you know, the all-pro quarterback that people were making an argument for 2 years ago. And Amari Cooper continues to be as consistent as somebody with bipolar disorder. If you don't get that joke, I'm not really going to explain it. Just go look up bipolar disorder and then you'll understand the joke. And John Gruden has to be 100% regretting that Khalil Mack trade. They didn't do a terrible job of getting to the quarterback or anything like that, but you got to think that if Khalil Mack was in that game, he would have been absolutely dominating the line like he did against the Packers, and he would have been getting to Jared Goff all over the place and making plays all over the field. Alright, that's going to do it for me, guys. Please leave a like if you did enjoy the video, and subscribe as well if you do like the content that I'm putting out. And let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about the first week of the NFL season. I'm also going to be leaving links to my social down below as well, so go give those a follow if you would, please. And yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. This has been XLT, signing out.